right, good morning, good morning. We are live on socials. We got the recording going. I'm just trying to find something specific here. You know what? I think we're just going to wing it. Let's just leave that. Okay. Good morning, Doug, Darby, and YouTube. If you're still there, I'm sorry we had a little bit of a delayed start there. What's going on, Duco? What's holy hell today? What's up? Speak to me, buddy. All right, so your ears. Oh no, what happened? Was it the music? Or was it me? I never know when you guys can hear the music. I'm sorry. It's all on socials. That's weird. Sorry about that, man. I blame Duck. Just pick somebody. All right, so we got one of those mornings. That's right. Good morning, alarm. I'm eagerly waiting for my alarm friend to show up. It's going to be delightful. What's up, Adrian? Good morning. Good morning to you and Bruno. So it's one of those mornings. I don't really see a whole lot of volume going on just yet. Obviously, we kind of have the favored child here, ATNF, but there's no directional movement right now. Now, this is directional movement. That's great, but we're kind of pulling back, so we got to wait a little bit. And this one is not, it doesn't have that ratio that I like, right? Like, I like to see the volume bigger than the market cap for specific reasons, so we can still trade these. Hey, buddy, good morning. He's awake. He's awake, Duco. All right. So, for this one, again, like, we can look for a break over 6 and all that. That's good and it's fine and it's fun. Maybe up to 621 or something like that. Oh, yeah. Let me do, let me just check something real fast. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. One moment here. Oh, no. My screens are messed up. All right. So let me do, we'll do a 95. Why not? All right, so I'm going to watch the $6 wall. This seems to be the only one that's got potential for pre-market volume. So maybe we're just in a little bit early in the volume, and that's okay. But it is kind of a weird morning where there's just kind of, there's just not a lot of volume, which is kind of the exact opposite of what I expected, right? Because we had CPI, we got the Trump tariff on China and all that good stuff today. So we got at least one zone recovery. I'll go here. For some reason, they just swapped their bid wall. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Hang on a second. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we'll just kind of hang out. I'm going to watch the $6 wall. We've got a 603, 621, 625, and a 7 wall. So let's go ahead and draw those out here. 625 and 708. So let me just plot those out. Is that 625? Yeah. And then 708. Don't like that. Might just be one of those weird mornings, guys. So 621, I'm going to go ahead and plot that as a dashed line. And that's going to be 3.5 to 4% on that. So I think I'm going to shoot higher. But I really want to see something else get some volume here. So PRPH has a 1-to-2 ratio. I like that. The rest of these are pretty underwhelming. So X4, PRPH, and ATNF in that order. Well, minus X4, I guess. Yeah, I think PRPH and ATNF are probably going to be the better two candidates. So let me just go ahead and make those, make them bunk beds, and we'll just kind of hang out and watch and see what they do. Let me catch up on the chats. Adrian says, saw that the year-over-year CPI was slightly higher than expected, but the monthly was as expected. Yeah, it's kind of one of those underwhelming times in the market. We've got all these, spectacular catalysts outside, and then when it comes to like the Fed and the reporting of, banks and the economy and stuff, it's just kind of pretty bland, in comparison. In your experience, which one historically tends to make a higher impact? Higher out of which two? The year over year or monthly? Or something, the CPI and then something else? The monthly, usually. tends to have a better splash short term anyway. You know, it's not as impactful. Oh crap! I was supposed to enter this one, wasn't I? Oh no, that's ATNF. Nope, that's the one I was supposed to enter. Oh well, I got it. So I'm gonna grab some here. If I can get filled, I might have missed my entry. Oh no, cool, we didn't. Sweet. Sorry, my brain was just elsewhere for that. That was great. All right, so I'm just gonna go back to single chart here. For some reason, I was thinking ATNF was on the top there, not the bottom. So yeah, I got in a little bit higher than I wanted to on this one, but that's okay. I don't have any objections to that wall at $6 getting chewed down. So we're probably going to see a little volatility on this one. Please don't blindly copy me. I always throw that disclaimer in there. I'm taking my own risk here. So, I mean, given that the volume is kind of trash this morning, it's pretty high risk. So I don't want anyone to chase into anything. 621, 625, and 709 now. Oh, no, still 708. Okay. So again, we really want to see the volume surge in. Like we want to see a surge like this kind of volume over here or into auction cross. We got about 30 seconds to auction cross. So right now it's just kind of stagnating, right? It's creeping up, but it's stagnating. So let me go down to the tick chart. Okay, and then we're also going to do the Ganesh candles, and we're going to plot out 621. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to draw some lines here. 625 and then 708. We got a lot of scrolling to do today. All right, there we go. So I'm on the tick chart now, so I'm going to be very careful. No, you know what? I want to do the baseline chart on the tick time frame. So mine, I'm just going to compress this down a little bit. My break even is 603, so I'm going to hang out right there. All right. Mad Maverick says ATNF hit targets, big ETH investment. Good stuff. Dang, they loaded up 349 million in Ethereum. They bought that kind of late, didn't they? I mean, good for them, but they kind of waited a little bit. All right, so we're in auction cross. We don't have any walls on either side. We've just got small, barriers here on in the 590s. So if the volume comes in, slams those, we should push to the upside pretty easily over 6 again, and then up over 621. We'll go ahead and see if we actually get that. And I don't see a lot of volume on other stuff. So I think PRPH is probably the only candidate here for right now. Well, we're in auction cross, and I don't want to hang out too long. Let me see here. Sorry, I got a DM. I got to check real fast. Okay. Yeah, I'll deal with that afterward. All right. So we're hanging out. It's just going to be one of those mornings. So if if you're busy or if you don't want to, take risks or anything like that, it is perfectly okay to just not trade today or wait till the market is a little bit cleaner and more directional. Now I'm starting to see a lot of dancing over here in EQ, and we traded that one yesterday pretty nicely, but the day after trades tend to be a little bit weird, especially, with this kind of market cap. It's got 31.64 million. I might be cutting this one here soon if it doesn't push up. So we are heading into open here in a minute. We got about a little under 2.5 minutes. So I don't mind what it's doing here, but I don't want it going down, too far. Because every cent it's got to go down, or every 1% down, it's got to go up even more to get back to the upside. So the downside is definitely not your friend when it comes to the market. So I might just switch back to regular candles, because this view is more so for when it's pushing over my break even. I don't really care too much about it if it's going flat. I want to see the tick chart when it's going up. Intel's up again after Trump meeting. Yeah, that's good. I'm waiting for Intel to just drop like a bombshell in their headlines, but because they got to do something innovative, right? They can't just tread water. They've been doing that for a long time and kind of riding on like AMD's incompetence, basically. You know, so they're gonna have to do something soon. I would say. All right, we got about a minute till market open. It's 9:28:48. And we'll just kind of hang out. So I'm watching tick by tick. I'm watching for a specific pattern, and it's like this. I want to see just a flat top. And you can see we've got one here. We've got one here. We've got a couple here. We've got one here. And what that is orders just slamming up into these little small walls here and just getting filled flat, which is good. Let me draw a line here at 590 as well. So ideally, I'd see one right here. So I just want to see the price kind of come up, go sideways, and then pop out to the upside, or maybe a small pullback and then a pop to the upside. So I want to watch this 5250 wall at 590. We got about 30 seconds till market opens, so things are probably going to get a little loud in here. A little crazy. You don't see me on socials? Hey, what's up, Tick Breezy? I see you on YouTube. That's right. I don't know, man. I'm on there. All right, 590 wall is gone. So now we're going to watch the 612, 614 window. We got about 8 seconds to market open. And at that point, I'm just going to use my hotkeys. So let me uncheck this quantity settings box here. All right, so market is open. There's a bunch of plateauing, and then of course Webull likes to freeze early on. So we're just going to go ahead and watch and see if this little shuffle here sustains, or if it's just going to be a very quick like a little one-off, and then the volume just nosedives. So we'll see what we get here. All right, so we're going up and down and up and down. That's just how it is. But that's good for us, right? We just need the up. So we'll kind of let everything settle out. There's a lot of pending orders, a lot of chain fills and things like that. So this is not the time to make, you know, crazy decisions and panic sell. We're right at break even. So we'll just go ahead and wait. ATNF seems to have gotten the bulk of the volume so far. And we'll go ahead and just keep an eye on that. So PRPH is the other one that's it's definitely, oh, it just got bumped down. That's funny. Yeah, PRPH is kind of the only other one I can see at the moment that's getting the attention. So we'll go ahead and just see if that comes to fruition here. I'm just going to compress this a little bit just so it doesn't like run off the screen if it does have a push. ONDS great earnings. So ooh, okay, good stuff. Good stuff. So I don't like this going sideways, right? I want it to go up. That's all I want. There's a plateau right there. So let's watch and see what happens when the price comes back to this level. I'm just going to make it a dashed line. You can see we've kind of plateaued here a couple times. That's exactly what I want to see, because then when we break up through that, that's typically when we see our good pushes here. So we've got a wall at 580. So they're just kind of walking this down a little bit. So I'm not a fan of that. But let's watch this 63.26 wall at 580. And if this continues to drop, I'm probably just going to cut it and take the hit. Not the end of the world. It's just annoying that it's not going up. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and wait. I'm going to take a sip of my Monster here. Delicious. All right, so we're getting some pretty big spikes in volume on these fills, so that's good. It's just taken a while for it to move to the upside, so I'm okay with this. I might look at some other ones, but kind of just want to see where this one's going to go first. And I do have that one share of EQS here. That's up about 5.7%. It's my big bad one share that I talked about yesterday. I bought it on Friday. No, they don't. I'm not sponsored by Monster yet. It's I'm trying though. I'm trying to get my career going. If anyone knows the CEO of Monster, I don't know what they're, yeah, Monster, you have them call me, okay? Tell them I'm their long lost child. La boo. That sounds like when a French child falls down and scrapes their knee. Who did that? All right, let's keep an eye on the market here. Okay, so PRPH definitely getting some good volume here. It's got a 1 to 5, 1 to 6 ratio. I think I might switch back to the regular chart here and go back to the 1 minute, only so that I can peek around to other stocks without it looking, without having to shuffle the chart around and all that good stuff. So I'm really, really, really carefully watching PRPH. Give me just 1 second, guys. I just gotta check one more thing real fast. Okay. Ah. Sorry, I have to keep like moving stuff around on you guys. Okay, so don't like Jibo. Don't like WoW. I really like PRPH and ATNF. So I think I might grab some of this. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and keep an eye on this one at 41.90 is great, but I think we can get a better fill right here. So taking a kind of a risky entry here, right at, the wicks and stuff, but I like the volume here. So we'll see what that gives us. And then of course I've got ATNF is kind of pulling down a little bit to keep an eye on as well. So we shall see. Let me take my quantity settings off so that I can just do control 2, control 3, and then I can sell out. Thank you, Tick. I appreciate that. I have a face for radio. I agree. It's the bad kind of radio too. All right. Okay, so these two should be kind of the front runners for the morning, and we'll just see. It may just be a situation where they're the cream of the crap. If all these stocks are pulling down and I'm not really getting good quality volume, it might just be one of those days, and that's all right. As Limp Bizkit said. They're definitely getting the activity, which is all I really need, because then it's just a matter of timing the volume, the ebb and flow of directional volume, I should say. So there's going to be some volatility. There's going to be some up and down. Duco needs $100 for the week. Come on, Tesla, be my sugar daddy. Oh boy, we can call up Elon. You could just tell him that you're the new Grimes if you want. Is that too controversial? I think he'd make a spot for you. Sounds like a lot of work. Yeah. Well, it's a phone call. I mean, you're calling Elon. That's your buddy. All right. So we're just continuing to hang out. Yeah, it's just one of those mornings. Volume is just not doing the thing, right? It's not directional yet. How many phone calls to talk to him, though? Well, just one. You just got to get the right number. Ask Grok. Say, Grok, what's Elon's cell phone number? And then see if he answers you. Maybe he's got one of those old Boost $1 a day phone, the walkie-talkie phones. Maybe. Him and Grok in a feud again? Oh no. That's not good. Got trouble in paradise. All right, so I'm just going to draw these lines here at 45.23 and then 46, and we'll see if we get more juice on that. That's going to be 15% on that one. We'll see if we can get that push up to 46 or higher. We got a 100K wall at 43.50, which is up here. That's right here. So let me draw that as well as a dashed line, just so we don't get confused. We'll watch how the price behaves. We'll watch how the order book behaves. Now, what I'd like to see when it hits that wall, or when it approaches the wall, is I want to see this 100 0.9K get smaller and smaller and smaller. And I want to see the time and sales light up and move very fast. I don't want to see this. Sorry, I don't want to see the wall get smaller and then the time and sales not move, because that's, danger time. So we'll go ahead and see if we get that clean push over 43.50. There seems to be enough volume. There seems to be enough intent here. It's just a matter of enduring until it breaks over. So we hit 42.78. There's a lot of push and pull on this one. So they're putting a lot of volume threshold tests in the way, which is good for me because that typically means they're looking for a bigger breakout. It's just kind of annoying, and there's a higher probability of it falling back. So that I don't want. But that is just par for the course when we're trading the low float trash. ATN up, yeah, that's kind of pulling down. So I'm okay with it for now. It's high risk, obviously, and I don't like having this kind of range all the time, but I'm still pretty confident in the setup. So we'll see what happens. I do want to keep an eye on this one though. 40. Oh yeah, that wall just got beautifully destroyed. This is good. So far anyway. The RPH is pushing now. It's got to sustain though, right? We chewed down the wall successfully, and then for volume to just get absorbed like that is not fun. So I'm just going to move this up to 44. So we'll see if this gets sustained and bought up, or if it's just going to kind of die off and just be one of those weird mornings where we just take a little bit of red. 41.76. All right. So the good news is now there shouldn't be anything in the way, as long as we get this little absorption stuff out of the way. Oh, what's up, Death Gun? How's it going? Morning. We're just hanging out, and the morning is pretty rough in terms of volume this morning. So we're just kind of hanging out. We picked the top two. So far they're holding up, but ATNF is pulling down quite a bit. So we're just kind of hanging out waiting for PRPH to continue its breakout. BBAI, nice reversal. Yeah, probably. We like that one. That's a nice one. Ooh-wee. Big bear. See, now that scares me. That's terrifying. Let me just peek back over here. I just kind of got to watch the time and sales and order book on this one for a little bit, just so I can kind of time that if it does pop over, so I don't miss out on the take profit. It's a good clean push on BBAI though. That's going to go up here soon. All right, so again, I'm not a huge fan of what the market's doing this morning. It's not that good, clean, quality volume I like. So, we shall see. It's going to look weird when I speed up the recording, because I always try to record these trades from start to finish, and then I just kind of speed up the middle of it. So it's going to be like, so it's going to be funny. You guys couldn't see that in the Discord because I don't have my camera on for you guys, but it would have been fun. All right, so we got this wall at 44, and we don't have anything on the bid side, which is a little bit scary, right? So they may have some hidden walls here. I don't want to deal with a trapdoor. So the assumption here is that it should push to the upside, but I have to be prepared for the downside. We've got a 44 wall. We've got a 50 wall, which is the goal, right? And then we got a 47 wall. So that'll be pretty fun. So let me just peek up here and see what we got in terms of walls. And then I got the 50 wall. That's a nice to have target, but that's it's a little bit outside the scope of what I care about for this kind of morning. I'd like a 47 at 47. I don't know. I said 47. What were you going to show me? I was just going to walk you through a strategy, not specifically in this moment because I'm in the middle of a kind of a high risk trade or two high risk trades, but I wanted to walk you through some stuff if I have time. So we're just going to watch for this one to continue moving if it does. And it's just got to clear out this area here. So basically what's happening here is you got a bunch of panicky people and algos that are absorbing this price. They're all trying to exit their bag from pre-market. So we got to push through that. We got to fight over that and blah, blah, blah. It's not anything. It's just algos. But that's what needs to happen for the price to go higher. So we'll see if we get that. Otherwise, obviously, there's pretty significant rejection potential on that one. So you can see it keeps getting bought up, which is great. It just has to clear this zone. It's got to get above like 45 cents. Let me take another sip here. I'm thirsty today. Delightful. RMBL, I like Rumble. Oh yeah, look at that. So that volume just kind of came out of nowhere. Was that they have a headline or something? What caused that? Results, earnings. Interesting. Yeah, I don't like what the volume is doing here. It's just kind of fallen off. So I think I might hang it up here in a little bit if it's not going to be a cooperative morning. And sometimes that's just the decision to make. Duco says, well, Tesla's scaring me. I sold my covered call for 30 cents less than it was worth at open. That's okay. Now you're done for the day. Okay. So you opened a covered call for 30 cents less than it was worth. Results in rebranding. Yeah. Cool. Good stuff, Top. 240 was the point to break on Rumble. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of what I'm seeing here. So if this doesn't get bought up, I'm just going to exit it and take the hit, I think. I don't want to allow this one to do the same thing that ATNF is doing, because that's this one is it's a much riskier setup. X4 trying also. All right, we'll take a look here. I only do my 2 trades, so I tend to just grab the top 2 tickers and run for those. Alert boink, done for the day. Is that did you get a win on that one? Doesn't really matter, right? You got your successful trade and you can walk away. That's good stuff. Chicken dinner, good. Happy to hear that, man. Beautiful. So I don't like this, right? The order book has it's like stopped moving completely, but the time and sales is still pushing. All these fills at 40 cents. I don't like that kind of stagnation. That would have been a beautiful plateau if we were watching the tick chart, but I don't want it down here. I want it up here. So I'll take what I can get, but I didn't like seeing that. Mac Hef Def got a spy call in. Thank you, Mad Maverick. Ooh, fancy. Fancy, fancy. All right. So yeah, the only other one that's kind of creeped up here was WoW, but PRPH is still ATNF and PRPH are still the top 2. So in terms of percentage change for the day. So it's just a wonky market this morning for the low float stuff anyway. Okay, we got another spammer on Kick. Blech. What a weird platform. All right, so we're hanging out. Yeah, Duco, I don't like it. Not the other version of Kick. That one was way, way worse. That was for like underground activities. And yeah. Yeah, this one's a Twitch copy, basically. Duco, you got to say Discord yuck, too. You got Kick on your list, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok. You got to dump on Discord. It's one of the worst No, don't heart react Discord. No. Terrible platform. What would Snowflake do? Killing me, Smalls. See, Breckle's got it. He hates all of them. That's the way to do it. Yeah, you like OnlyFans? Okay. Well, that's fair. Maybe we could put ATNF on there for the way it's getting dealt with. Oh, it's your wife's birthday. All right, Master. We're completed for a few hours. Yeah, man. Enjoy your day, dude. You got all that free time now because you're not staring at charts. Love it. You've automated your trading day. Enjoy yourself. And happy birthday to the wife. You hit your daily goal and you're out. Good stuff, man. Just in and out. Beautiful. Well, I'm super happy to see that. Good stuff. Duco hates all socials. He's too stingy with money for anything like OnlyFans. Oh, man. Why would I use OnlyFans when I have Google? It's terrible. All right, man. Take care. Don't forget to buy her something shiny and bring her out to dinner. You'll never hear the end of it. All right. Take care, buddy. All right. Let's take a look at Rumble here. That is good. So top was looking for a break over 240 down here. Good stuff. Nice clean break on that. Volume just ramped in. This is what I want to see over on my trade. So I want that same thing to happen for the direction of volume. God, sorry, I just have like an itch like right on the end of my nose. It's weird. If it's like dust or something. Shoo, look at it go. Are you still in this top? Or did you cash out and run for the hills? Breckle, I can't get over your profile picture, buddy. We gotta share this with the people. It's just like it's creeping at me. You guys see that? This is all I see in my Discord. I've got all this stuff, and then I got just Breckle staring at me. It's just chilling. It's plotting. Makes you laugh every time. Well, it keeps me awake at night, buddy. So thank you. No, we do. Well, okay, I could see it. I could see why you'd say that, but no. Same, but different. You know? I only say that because I did meet you in Chicago, and I can vaguely see it's the eyebrows. But the funny part is, like, when people join and leave the stream, it pushes your profile picture back over past the edge because I've got the chat. Like, I got the chat column and then a very narrow, like, one person profile and then the channel list. So all I see is him just popping in and out. It's hilarious. Top says 365 is a seller for 75% of the position, and 279 if it drops is my stop. So I protect some profits. That is good stuff, man. So you're looking at a pretty good range on that. Awesome. That's the good stuff, man. I love seeing that. You got plenty of potential on this one, right? A lot of wicks up here, but it's got the juice. Let's peek back over here at ATNF. Meh. It's kind of holding this area, but I want to see good, strong directional volume. I don't want to see just kind of pulling back up, you know, out of relief. I want to see a good, strong push. Like this one here keeps getting bought back up. Like, it's highly contentious. So that's what I like. I don't want to see just kind of, it's going to bounce a little, you know, oh, it's pulling back up. You know? I want to see good strength. Now in this one, there's no volume, right? The volume is falling off. So it really matters what the stock does when the volume comes back in. Oh, sorry, ATNH. Same thing though, same concept. Like the volume has to come back in. These two are still both high potential setups, but we need that volume, and it's got to show up with a purpose, right? It's got to be violent. So we'll see if we get that. It's the only reason I'm still holding these, because if that potential was lower, I would be out. Delicious. All right. So we'll kind of hang out and see. And I'm keeping an eye on this number down here as well, because this one's starting to ebb and flow a little bit as well. But this one is a little bit more choppy. It's got 38 million float, so it's not a super low float, but it's not, this is 150 million. So the fact that these two were like dozens of million float, and they're the ones that were running this morning, are scary, right? That's kind of a scary morning, because that means that the other low float guys didn't get anything, right? Because those should run very fast, very easily. And then you got Rumble here, which is 21 million with a 16 million restriction as the third. And then you've got WoW up here, which doesn't have anything, and it's got 50 million. This is a wonky morning. Normally we see like a 120% runner with like 3 million shares, right, for the float. So it'll have like 10 million market cap and like 600 million volume or something for the day. That's the mornings I like to trade, more than these. But the fact that we've got these two relatively stable companies, in terms of float anyway, getting all the volume instead of the low float trash runners, means that the momentum algos are kind of pulled back for the day. And that might just be because of CPI, who knows? But either way, it's a little bit risky biscuits for that kind of morning, right? So I'm not a big fan of that. Boom, they just pulled that wall. That was nice. There was a little 603 or 605 wall or something like that. It just got chewed down real fast and pulled. Same thing here. I want to watch the 613 wall. We got 3,700. These are the volume threshold tests right here. So let's watch those get chewed. They're pulled. That's good. They put another one in, got chewed and pulled. I want to watch 613 wall, just got pulled randomly. So that's interesting. We got a 609 wall with 4224. Not a big fan of what it's doing here. It's kind of a necessary evil. Like, it has to do this, but I don't want it to hang out here too long. So that's good. Those just got pulled. Okay. 610 wall was the big obstacle there. So we should be in okay shape short term here. So I don't want this to hang out in this box too long, right? I want to just see a clean punch through it and not to the downside. And then we can just get out and lock our profits as it continues to push. So we got to get over 621 on this one. We got a good clean potential punch up to 650, 7+, but we've got to get out of this box first. And that's just what kills it every time. But we shall see. Yeah. Let me see here. Let's see who else is on this. Onrad, I'm super jealous of that pool, by the way, buddy. Hope you enjoy that. Saw your picture the other day. All right, we got a 115 wall at 592. Go ahead and see if that comes back up and hits that. And we got a 604 wall, 12.5K. The 592 wall just got pulled off, which is interesting. So that might be good in our favor here. Now we're seeing a little more bid side presence. Not worried about that right now. But I don't want to see them walk the price down, because that typically is what this kind of structure provides. Is they'll push it down, pull the wall in the ass to pull it up, and then they'll put another smaller wall in the way, push it down, pull it back up, and that seems to be what we're seeing here. So I'm going to go ahead and monitor for the buy-ups, and by that I mean I want to see these little, chips to the downside and then one big move to the upside, chips to the downside and one big move to the upside. And that's what they're measuring. They're waiting for those kind of bigger fills to come in with the aggressive chops to the upside. And if there's enough of those, then they'll release it. Otherwise, they're just going to continue kind of suppressing it. And that's what we don't want. So we'll just hang out. What's up, the dude? How you doing? Happy Tuesday. I had to remember what day it was. How's it going? Looks like Rumble's pulling back a little bit, finding support, and then it may be pushing back to the upside here for you, top. Living the dream, you think? Okay. Well, we can define our dream. We can interpret the dream. I don't know. What so you're not working then, if you're saying you're living the dream, unless you're being sarcastic. Yeah, Duco's got to work. He's stuck in a nightmare. All right, let me draw a line as well, because we like lines, right? We support lines in this household. This is PRPH, by the way. Sorry, I got to read the tickers out to you guys when I change the charts. My bad, my bad. No, you're working? Oh, no, another few days or short-term disability, but I'm healing up well still. Oh, I was not. Oh, because of your neck? Either way, I'm glad you're able to get some support with that. Wall Street 72. I'm living the dream. That's why I want to day trade to support it. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Is day trading, like how many hours a day do you currently spend looking at the market? Neck surgery stuff. Been out since July 3rd mostly. Oh, wow. That long. Wow. I don't think that was on my radar, man. I think I might have seen something about a procedure or something. I didn't know. I don't know that you're getting that addressed. All right. Wall Street 72 says about an hour. I'm still new. Okay. So if you're looking to, are you viewing this as a side hustle, or as you want to make this your full-time job and do trading all day? Send you a cool robot neck pick and DMs. Hell yeah, man. I look forward to it. Side hustle to see what I can make. Perfect. So do me a favor and don't ever change. Keep that mindset, because what I see is a lot of people, they want to make this their lifestyle, and it's bad, right? My job is to get in and out of the market efficiently, despite, the ATNF chaos this morning, right? I just want to get in and get out. I don't want to spend hours looking at charts. It's kind of helpful to do that on streams for you guys, but that's more to teach and stuff. It's not for trading. Like when I'm trading my other accounts and stuff, I just get in and out. I don't mess around with, holding things or any of that stuff. It's just quick directional scalps, and I just move on with my day. And most of my money is in passive income. So I don't mess with any of that stuff for long term, right? Because then your hourly rate is not ideal, right? You gotta just clock in, clock out. I don't like to hang out after I clock out. Mac half deaf. Want to show love to everyone. Made my money today, and now I have to get ready for work. I work with dogs, so it's damn near living. That's awesome, man. Dogs are amazing, except the one I have downstairs, currently barking its face off. I'm a big fan of that one. If you know any hawks in the area, I'm willing to share. Just kidding. She's a good dog. She's just kind of dumb. My dog's scary. Oh no. But yeah, enjoy your day, man. That's sounds like a good field to be in. My dog's scary. It's a little rat. It's a Brussels Griffon. Are you thinking of my cat? Oh, there it is. There's my screenshot. Oh, I need this in my life. Look at that. That's the dude. His passive income. That is beautiful. That's good stuff, man. Look at that nice clean trajectory on that. Can't ask for more. Yeah, the cat is the disgusting one. It's it's hairless, mostly hairless. He's got a little patch. It's like a little Velcro patch. He's a gross little boy. He's very wrinkly. He's getting more wrinkle per hour. You know, he just keeps getting new wrinkles, and I don't know where he's getting them from. He's a gross little boy. But we have fun. He's calming down. He's a good personality. He used to be a little terror when I got him. My hands were all scarred up. I still got some. Still got some scars. He was just relentless. He had to earn his place, I guess, in his mind. He probably thinks he beat me in a submission because I feed him and stuff now. How's Rumble holding up? It's kind of back to 317. All right, okay. Good stuff. Yeah, there's just so many wicks on these today. What a weird morning. All right. Sorry, my eyeball's like itchy. ATNF halted down. Yeah. I was not looking at that. That's okay. It's just one of those just one of those stocks. It's gonna have range, you know. It's that's why I tell you guys, like, don't copy trade me, because some of these are very high risk. And I want you guys to get caught in stuff that you know, I'm okay to you know, take a hit if I need to. But I don't want you guys stuck in that kind of position. So it looks like a bunch of these are just turning down. I'm looking at these percentages and everything's just kind of falling off a little bit. So just one of those mornings. I might take a little bit of a hit on this one. Now, I also want to establish a context here in that this account has gone up significantly in the last 5 days. So even if I take a little bit bigger of a spanking today, I'm kind of just replacing this with my kind of once a week SPY trade. So he's okay for me. But I don't want you guys to feel like you have to do that every day or take on unhealthy risk and all that. 1002. I can still justify holding these. I still like the setup. I still like the order book. I still see algos. But the second those go away, I'm out. Just a weird morning. All right, let me just peek on this. Yeah, see, like this bid side is, it's very sparse, right? Like you've got like 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 28, right? You got a 3 cent gap there, 26, and then 18. So you've got a 3 cent, 2 cent, 8 cent gap on the bid side. And then up here, you know, you've got a 49 to 70 gap. So I would love to see it pop up to 50, but I'm not going to be a fool about it. So we'll see what we get. And then Rumble, it's probably going to get some of that volume up or down, right? You should see a little resurge in volume here because it's kind of the other top of the list here. You got that and WoW, but WoW is kind of dead in the water, right? So it looks like Rumble's probably going to get a good chunk of that attention while that's halted. Top says I trade on the 2 minute. So for Rumble, I want to validate the higher low and now looking for a higher high to have 365. I see a downtrend line break 325 to have a confirmation for the higher low. Absolutely. Yes. So you're looking for that. Yeah, break out of that range should be pretty shiny. ATNF is unhalted. So we'll see if we get a little bit more than just a little pullback. V-shaped recovery would be nice, but that's unlikely. So we'll see what we get on this one. And then PRPH is still just kind of puttering around as well. World of Warcraft. Well, you could consider me a bit of a tank today, if you'd like. Just waiting. Let me kick up these time frames as well, because I think looking at the 1 minute here is a little bit missing some context on these. Breckle, I'm trying to sell covered calls and nothing will give me an opening. Might call it a day. Yeah, it's a good day to just not try to force things, right? There's a lot of risk involved in trading on a day like today. Or trying to trade aggressively, I should say. So if you can't get filled, you know, maybe that's an indication. I'm personally just waiting for a clean push over 6 that sustains on this one. And then for this one, I'm looking for a clean push over like 45 cents. But it's going to be chop in this range and this range until then. So Tep says Rumble's fighting on the View app. We break it. I like it. Need a little more volume then. Yeah. So it's just one of those mornings. You know, volume is elusive, right? It just kind of comes and goes. 334, then 345, and then I want to sell at 365. Yeah, I mean, it's got potential, right? You got full ask stack here. You got walls down here on the bid. You know, you should have increasing volume here. You're on the 2 minute. You got plateaued volume, and then you get a little spike there. That's pretty good. I don't see any reason why you can't break over that high. I'll draw a line as well, just so we have that for what was a context. Yeah, I mean, it's all risky, but I feel like you got a good opportunity here, and you're in pretty low. So I feel like you're in a good position. You're not negative, you know, so that's good. Man, Kick is just so spammy. They write paragraphs, guys. They don't just post like a link. They write paragraphs. I got a dissertation every time they want to grow my account. I said, no thanks. Yeah, so this one's got it all boils down to how it handles this 345 wall on this one, RMBL. Yeah. And, you know, that's something you see a lot of times too, is it just rejects within like that top, you know, like 11%, you know, of a fib. So if we draw a fib on this one here, you know, you got your 25% pullback and then it's continuing. Within this top 11.8 range, this right here is typically when you see those kind of failed breakouts. So as long as it breaks over that, which is right, you know, 345, you should have a good clean push over to a new high. But, you know, you can never guarantee that, obviously. But it is stacked properly. It just has to get the volume, and you've got increasing volume here. So in my opinion, that should push. There it goes. Now, I don't know if it's going to sustain, because this is just one of those mornings where volume just kind of comes and goes like the wind, you know? So you moved your stop. Yeah. It seems like a good decision on a day like today. All right, let me just peek back over at mine real fast as well. All right, got to keep an eye on ATNF here. Kind of seeing a similar thing. Like there's plenty of runway here on both sides. We got a small wall here, 570, a bigger wall at 580. And of course, I want it over 6. So that doesn't really do much other than keep it in the game until it gets back over 6. So we're just going to hang out. And then, of course, PRPH is just kind of in this zone, right? I need it to break out of the zone to the upside and get over 45 cents, and then we will be good. And the longer the morning goes on, the riskier that gets. So I might end up cutting these and just taking the hit at some point. We'll have to see. Death Gun's daily advice: don't lose money. Yeah, pretty much. I'm allowing for a wide range here, and I kind of don't want to do that for too long, because the more that goes, the less likely it is they come back. Never lose. Yeah, just losses don't happen, guys. It's fine. Right? You don't lose if you don't sell, right? Isn't that what they say on Reddit? Is Reddit a trading a hive? Was it a hive for traders, for degens? I got to go in there and clean house. If you do lose, punish yourself hard. Yes. Don't be sorry, be better, right? Yeah, there you go, Laura. You like losing money if you can get the reward of learning from it. Absolutely. You pay the market. You might as well, you pay a cost, right? It's up to you to decide the value, right? So we can do both, and we can also get paid to learn. You did not learn that in Rags to Riches, that you never take a loss if you don't sell. We use losses for taxes, sir. Top says, I know my stop and target point were far off, but now I move it. But sometimes you see so much volatility, the narrow stop takes me out of a trade. Then after some time, move it. For sure, a profit trade, and nothing more I can do than sell when the time is there. Absolutely. You're just you're guaranteeing yourself a net profit. That's your job. Oh, Duco. You guys are crazy today. Absolute craziness. Gotta start locking up the glue bottles when they go to bed. You guys get into stuff early and you're all hopped up by the time I come in here. All right, so we got symmetrical walls here on the ATNF order book. We got 555 20K wall, 580 29K wall, and we'll just see which direction that goes. No, you're good, Top. I know you got your trade to focus on, and writing can be pretty tough. Plus, you speak many languages, so I mean, congrats on that. Your writing is fine, sir. I would not do very well in your shoes. So, you're doing great, sir. All right, let's check on PRPH here. So we're just kind of hanging out still. And now, again, the volume is falling off. See, I already messed up English. It's not good. It falled off, guys. So we're just waiting to see which direction it pushes when the volume resurges. And then the bid side wall here is gone, leaving just the ask. There's a small wall here at 549 as a trip, but I don't want to hang out down here. I want to hang out up here. So you have that rejection. So you sold 50%. Yeah. So you made a nice profit, sir. And yeah, you got a high risk zone here with aggression coming out of it. Which you had here, right? And then it pulled back up and all that good stuff to a new high, but it didn't sustain. So it seems like, based on the information you have, it's not a bad idea to lock at least some of the profit, especially because you were in, very low. So not a bad trade at all. Congrats. Very good. Dugo, I had my kids come to work when I got in last night, vacuum out and scrub down my work truck while I maintenance my semi. Not going to lie, they did a decent job. I love child labor. So you didn't have to throw the last part in. We all do, but we can't talk about it. Like it's implied. Just kidding. That's awesome, man. That's a good skill. A lot of kids tend to avoid wanting to clean stuff and, taking on tasks and jobs and stuff. So good stuff. Exactly. It wouldn't be Duco if you didn't just put that last unnecessary part in there. The twist. It's 2025. You can talk about it now. I don't know, man. It's a slippery slope. I'll say that. Speaking of child labor, how is Disney? I hope it just bleeds out. I mean, Disney is... Look at it go. Come on down to the range. I don't know. We'll have to see. See what it does. Waiting for this one to just blast. That'd be nice. Let's get a little roller coaster going. Can't wait till they lower it to 10 next year. These kids need to contribute. Oh boy. Oh my. We can't have a child labor stream, sir. We can. Let's do it in the lounge. They worked for food. That's pay. Yeah. Good old fashioned barter system. Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted to eat today? Huh. What do I get? If you count the cost of raising them to adulthood, it really doesn't equal out if you only look at fine. Oh, no, it's terrible, Freaky. Absolutely terrible. Tired of these freeloaders. Kidding. Don't come after me, activist groups. I know you guys are out there. Yeah, you kind of get a refund in some cases, but more often than not, no. You pay taxes, and that's about what you get. You get a small refund on that. A modest proposal. I remember indecent proposal. I can't read. Bergie, you know this. I couldn't even put bunk beds together because I couldn't read the instructions. I just got one big bed. No, I figured it out. Actually, there was an old lock. So they just went to Salem this weekend, and there was an old padlock that she got, and it had a key with it, like a little skeleton key, but it was a weird looking key, you know? So I was like, that doesn't seem right. So they were trying to figure out how to open it, and it's got a piston, and that piston has like a hole in it, right? But there's no side channel for the key to rotate. So they were all trying to figure that out. And then it's a pretty clever design, and I figured it out. I was kind of proud of that one. Got to rig up to this well and start pumping. Buddy, we got to change the way we word things around here because my brain is terrible. Shall be back. Don't leave me, Pookie Monster. I'll try. Make no guarantees. Swift satire about the economic solution of the poor selling the children of the rich for delicacies. Yeah. I mean, why stop at delicacies, right? There's other things out there. Yeah, you could rent to own. You can collateralize them, you know. It's a good commodity. I don't do they count as a depreciating asset? Just in terms of property, I guess. Up to a certain age. Oh no. But I'm pumping into the well. That's my job. Okay, well, enjoy filling up the well, and we'll be here as long as I can be until I get disconnected from the internet for talking about apparently child trafficking and labor law violations. I don't know what else you want from me, Duco. All right, volume's kind of tapering off on this one. I'll give it a little bit longer to get bought up, but you know, if I don't see that, I'm probably just going to cut this one and take the hit. We shall see. Just kind of depends on when the volume sweeps back into the market. If it does, if it doesn't, we'll just hang out in limbo for a little bit longer, and then I'll cut it. Still be net profitable, but not for the day. Thank you, Duco. Appreciate it. Always my hero. Oh, sorry about that. I just got another DM here that I had to look at. I saw your picture of the dude. That's intense, man. Didn't get to look super close, but that's intense. And then Breckle's picture's back. Just creeping at me. All right, my peek over here. All right, so we've got our old friend, the descending trend line. So let's see if that gets broken. There it is, Brickle. That's awesome. Yeah, yours looked like it was should be on the news. That was an intense night. Let me kick this back up to 5 minute here. All right. So I'm sorry this is taking so long, guys. I know it's not fun watching paint dry and all that stuff, and it's Tuesday morning. So not the funnest of days. But when we have intermittent volume in the market, this is unfortunately sorry guys. Post nasal again. That's just kind of the morning that we get, unfortunately. So it's all part of the game. Oh, thank you, Top. You like my voice and your dog? I like your dog too. Your dog looks awesome. Can see the personality. Your voice is pretty shiny too, sir. Your equities are ripping, so you're cool with it. Taking the day off anyways. Good stuff, Breckle. Happy to hear that. Looks like Rumble pulled up a little bit. Yeah, it's doing a little heartbeat situation here. There's a stall. Now let's see if it breaks over that. So I'm just going to move this level down here. I think it was about there. So you might have a quick pop 322 to 329 if it decides to. Otherwise, that might be a rejection buffer. We'll see what that gives you. First person she hears a lot but never saw. Oh no. Hopefully she understands the internet. All right, there's your break over 329. Do you still have half your position in this one, Top? Or were you completely out? Oh, there's the 330. Still happen. Okay, good stuff. Good, good, good. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog, but she's just losing her mind downstairs. X4. Yes. Oh, that's a nice one. I'm going to erase the drawings on that. It's a good clean push. I'm about to slam a new high on that one, sir. There it is. Beautiful. You're 0% in, but my long term is 99% in. In what? In the market? Need to break 2 level. That would be, yeah, I mean, you're about to break it at this point. I'll draw a line for you. We'll light some candles in the market. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, we went over the risk hierarchy yesterday in Lifetime, and that's, you know, that's, in my opinion, that's where most of the money should be, is in the stable stuff, not this low risk garbage. I'm able to play around with this because my passive income is already established. Like, sorry, I got something in my eyeball as well. If anyone's watching this on social media, they're just watching me blinking like a fool. 215 is your first take profit. Yeah, I can see that. There you go. And you've got some interesting opportunities there. Let's draw one at 244 as well. There you go. I don't know why my eyeball is so itchy today. It's not pink eye. It's just dry. All right, let me just peek back over at these guys. So they're still in their little ranges. It's still just kind of hanging out, being weird. That's just what we get for, again, just this kind of morning. Can't really force it. So just hanging out. Oh, let me check my calendar because I might have to. Okay, I have about a half hour, and then I have a call that I have to take. So I'll hang out with you guys for then, for the next half hour or so. And then we shall see. Zip was also on your watch list, but you missed it. Let's take a look at that one real fast. Nice, dude. Catching all the little rippers here. Now that's yeah, it's about 44 cents. So that's over 10%. That's good stuff, man. I like it. The doctor took a nice 6% trade on X4. Good stuff, guys. Yeah, this one's got a lot of potential, right? It's a low float, 5.3, very little restricted shares. It's got 460,000 restricted shares. It's pretty good. I like those. Lots of upside potential on that. Don't know a damn thing about the company. It's a pharmaceutical company, but you know, those are the ones that tend to have the good days when they get that volume. So protect yourselves. All right. These are things I definitely need to get better at for the day trading, is having better timing. Yeah, so in that case, you know, the easy answer here is just the order book. If you're looking for timing your entries and stuff. After that, it's just a matter of getting out, you know, at certain times and figuring out whether or not the setup warrants holding it or cutting it, right? And understanding what's a good thing to see for entry versus avoiding. Well, so if you, let me think of the best way to word this. So if you just want to get in for a momentum scalp and you see the criteria for a timed entry and you just want to catch that pop and you're okay with like a quick couple percent pop, there's nothing wrong with just using a bracket at that point with like a 1% stop loss and maybe a very, very small, like 2 to 3% take profit and just catching that little pop. So if you want to, we can watch for one of these on pretty much any stock. So let's watch this 42-cent level if we get back up here, or I'll find a different one that's moving. Let's check Rumble here. I'm looking for one here on the bid. So we got a 5K wall here at 313. So let's watch the 313 level. I'll just draw this and I'll just draw. Okay, so there's a 5,000 order block, not an order block because that's kind of a bogus concept. So let's watch 313 as our entry threshold. And what's 313 minus 3 minus 1% is 309. So we'll say 310. Okay. And then we'll do, you know, 322 would be the take profit there. And that's a 1-to-3 ratio. It's a little bit risky with a 3% stop loss on something like this, but we'll watch that 313 wall break. And then the bigger opportunities are going to be around 345 to 350 on this one. So let's just watch the 313 just for fun. And it's just a matter of timing the entry around that 313 wall. So if you see the 5K go to maybe 4K to 3K to 2K, and then it disappears, you know, when it gets to like 2K and disappears, that's typically when I like to try to jump in. just keep a very, very tight watch on this 313 wall. It's 53.25. And it's just not coming up to it. There's got to be good supporting volume that pushes into that level. So that right there tells us not to jump in, right? Not yet, anyway. So that kind of solves the whole what to avoid as well, right? Tops out. He hit his stop on the remaining 50% after dozens of digits in profit percentages. Good stuff, man. Well, what's up, Dugo? How's that well? Washed out. Well, did you know? I mean, you got a lot of you got some profit on that one, buddy. You're taking the well? You know, if you just take a hole and remove what's in the hole, you just get a bigger hole, right? Oh, the well's taking. Okay, all right. I was confused. Did you set up a camera and live stream it to OnlyFans? Just have it. Just have it going. There's an opportunity there. You might have to run it by the boss first. Get some waivers signed, all that good stuff. I like the potential, though. All right. Slaw damn the boss of my boss. Oh, no. You're your own grandpa? Sounds exhausting. Sounds like an HR trap. All right, so we're watching Rumble here for an attempt to push back up to 313. It's not quite happening yet. So we can just show the doctor how to watch the order book. So we have to just wait. Take a scalp on IOBT in at 130, 1149. 1130, you mean? With a take profit of 1149? Well, that's not the right one. IOBT. There we go. Nice. Oh, $1.49. Okay. Cool. So you got in at 130. Look at this beautiful entry. I love it. Yeah, just a quick money grab, right? That's good, clean push so far. Yeah, I like it. I wish I had more volume for you. It's a good setup. I like it. That's a nice little heartbeat in the stall right there. Let's watch this 142, 43.16. Then you got 92.96 at 147. So if we're watching this 44.43, we got to see fills here at 142. Boom, there you go. So that would be the entry right there. If you're just using the order, I'm not saying to enter this or anything. I'm just saying that's when you can watch for a entry breakout. Now you got to see this wall get smaller, right? So I went from 5K to 40 to 38 to 18 to 13, and then the wall is gone. So that would be the entry, and then you could just use a very small tight risk, and then let's say like 146 or something just for fun. And that would be the setup on that. Just as a very quick proof of concept. Again, not a real trade. I'm just pointing out how we can use the order book to time specific entries. And that was a very small wall. So you want the bigger walls, not the small ones. Yeah. So your multiple time frame moving averages are squeezing into each other. That's good. That means you're retesting the 200 basically, and it's a nice delicate approach on the 2 minute anyway. Good stuff. Yeah, so you got in down here like an animal. It's good stuff. I like it. But yeah, the doctor. So what I was saying is, if you want to just time those, like the result should be instant in this case, right? So if you get a big wall, not the small garbage wall, if you get a big wall, the price should just immediately continue to the upside. You shouldn't get any pullback. So with that rule and that approach, you can put your stop loss 1 cent below your entry in that case most of the time and be fine. Because if you're catching a momentum breakout on an order book break, you shouldn't have any drawdown in that trade, in my opinion. It should just be a clean push. Does that make sense? And if you watch the recordings from my other trades, you'll see that's exactly what happens in a lot of cases. It just pushes, like once that wall disappears. I don't have any close ones on these. I guess we got a 570 wall here we can look at. Yeah, no problem. It's a good little concept. It's the absolute last step. It's not like, that's not where you should be identifying your setups or any of that stuff. It's just the last step to help your timing. I stupefy it for you. Oh no. So let's watch this 39.58 wall at 570, 38.58. And we'll just really closely zoom in on this 570 wall. There we go. All right, so let's zoom in real tight and see if it wants to go. It's 4,000, 12, 39, 12, 40, 40, 41, 40. So they're adding to it. 42, 40, 40, 40. So it's coming back down a little bit. And these can move really fast. So I kind of feel like an auctioneer when I read those numbers off, but I read them out loud because you guys can't see them on the screen a lot of times because it's very small text and I can't make this part any bigger. 39, 40, 41, 40. So they're taking away 100, adding 200, 40, 40, 38, 40. So they're grabbing fills from outside and they're not showing up here on the time and sales. So 38.80. That means that they're filling market orders at 570, which is interesting because that can cause the price to jump pretty aggressively. So 38.80, 48.80. So they just added 1,000 to the 570 wall. It's interesting that the 570 is getting this much attention and we're so far away from it. Like we're 8 cents out with a 2 cent spread and the 570 wall is being added to and removed from. 48.80 still. It's up here now. 48.40. So there's just little chips coming in and out of this one. So not a super aggressive approach to this wall, right? Oh no, what'd you take a loss on? 4% down for the day. That's not bad, man, considering a lot of traders take much bigger hits on days like this. Now I'm taking a bigger hit on this one potentially on this day. 48.40. Let me take a sip of my monster and see if it blasts, and then I can do the ventriloquism thing. It just doesn't want to go near this level because I'm looking at it. It's just how it is. Let's come back over here and look at this guy. All right, so we got a 42 wall, 35, 494. We'll see if this one's closer to getting hit, and I'll keep an eye on this percentage just to see. Unfortunately, you can't watch 2 order books at the same time on, well, I should say on one Webull chart. You can always open multiple tabs, I guess, on a browser. But we'll keep an eye on this. If it comes back up to 570, we'll take a look at it. But I want to get one of these walls so that you can see it. Rumble's pushing and pulling a little bit, but they don't have good walls. Like this 326 wall is decent. I like that. Let's go ahead and plot that one out. Yeah. There we go. And I'll erase this one, and we'll keep the 320 wall in place as well. I just want an example for you guys. There's a 295, 4579 wall. And there's a little tiny volume threshold. There's no volume on this one. Sorry, you're not seeing that. So 295 wall got chipped down and got added to and then got pulled. So that's interesting. So this one should, in theory, if this was a bigger wall, it should push up to $3 plus. So let me just mark that $3. Now that was a small wall, so that increases the risk, right? Because again, we really just want to see those huge walls. Sorry, guys. So I'm not really enthusiastic about this. I'd really want to see one of these bigger walls get the activity. Just keep an eye on ATNF here. So it looks like I missed my wall at 570. The one wall that I was wanting to watch and show you. So sorry. Thank you, Tammy, by the way. So now we got one at 590. So let's watch that one instead. So let's push this up to 590. My bad, guys. It's an 8,000 wall at 590. We got a little wall in the way and a couple small little guys, but that shouldn't have too many issues getting up there at this point. So let's watch the 590 wall. There's 8,000, and we'll just hang out. We're clearing over these wicks, so we should be fine. Now it's 79.43, 71.43. It's climbing up pretty quick. There's a 585 small wall there. 584 volume threshold test just got chewed. And then they put another one at 583. 584 is back. It's getting chewed down. 585 wall's getting chewed down. 31, 28, 30. It's back to 31. So they're putting more volume threshold tests in the way of the 585 wall. And they're just getting chewed up like crazy. So that's good. They're trying to wash the volume up. So I like that. That's a good sign for me. 32, 31 on the 585 wall. 30. It's 3087 now. 3099. 3044. It's 582 wall, sorry. 2915, and that got pulled and then it got put back. So they're definitely trying to absorb something here. So let's see if the bigger algo wants to consume that guy. So basically what's happening is there's a short seller here who's defending his position, or maybe many, off this wick, right? They're trying to catch a rejection off of this. And every time the price pushes up into here, they're absorbing it. So now we'll see if the bigger guy that's been chewing up stuff down here is strong enough and willing enough to push this over 6 and let the price rally, knowing that all this bearish activity is likely to reverse position. That's what I'm relying on. Oh, you just sold 50% on IOBT. Good stuff. Look at you guys looking out for each other. Love it. That one hit 157. You're still in and you just sold. Dang. Okay. That was a good setup, man. Yeah, there's a 29K wall. We'll watch this one. 8K, 3K, and 24K. So this right here is where the opportunity would be to just jump in as soon as that 150 wall breaks and we start to see a fill at 151. So 23K, 3K, 13K. So they're adding to it. 13K, 32K. Right, so they're trying to test the rate at which it breaks down to 13K again, 13.9, 13.8, 14, 13.3, and it got slammed down, right? It's interesting. It's interesting, right? So no break on that one. The wall didn't get filled. That's why we got to wait for those fills like 1 cent above, and that's how you get into those. So that was a good example. I like that one. I was kind of hoping it would break up so we could watch the fills though. But it doesn't mean it's not still bullish. It just means that that specific breakout wouldn't have yielded a result there. And it's a 4% candle, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. Just those super tight range profits. All right, let's keep an eye over. Yeah. We got a tiny red candle. We got a little harami action here. Ooh, woo, woo, woo. Is that an ATNF? Let's see if that's going to push up or down. Also want to keep an eye on PRPH here. It's kind of just doing its weirdness. So this one doesn't have the volume that ATNF has, so I'm okay to just not focus on that one for a little while. ATNF is the one that has the volume. It has, well, it needs more volume, but it's got higher volume. And it has the volatility. It's forming higher lows, all that good stuff, but I really want it to break over 6 and sustain. This one has the potential. Now, whether or not that potential is fulfilled, you know, I don't control that. So we just kind of have to see what we get here. Okay, Rumble and IOBT have fallen off as well, a little bit. IOBT is kind of forming a support, wanting to push a little bit here. Now, what's the float on this one? 65 million. So this thing is acting like a $500,000 float stock. That's interesting. All right, so let's watch the 159, 160 wall set up here. That's pretty far out there. So 159, 160. Okay. And that'll be our next watch if that one wants to rally. I do have about 10 minutes left. So I'm sorry this has been a little bit uneventful today, and I'm a little bit red. It's okay. Again, remember I've started at like 150 or something last week. So I'm okay with taking a little bit of red here in exchange for some risk and potential, obviously. But I don't want you guys to hurt yourselves. So, ooh, okay. ATNF starting to push here a little bit. We got 585. There's a 3160 wall here, 3540 wall at 590. I don't really like the size of these walls. I really, really, really would like to see this 610 wall. It's bigger. But let's watch the 585. So we got 3264, 3164, 26. It's gone. 590 walls got 4065, 3940, 38, 39, 41, 39. So it's ebbing and flowing. 40K, or sorry, 4K. Then that wall's gone. Right now we got a 597, 4857 wall, 4957, and that wall's gone. So this is the kind of condition where we'd like, because those bigger walls just get pulled and then there's plenty of room. Now I don't like seeing that 543 wall. So we'll probably just grab some of these profits over 6, maybe over 625-ish. So we'll see. I mean, I'm good to hold this one for a while, obviously, but looks like PRPH is kind of pulling back as well. Don't like that. So the volume is coming into these low float guys, but it's not going the direction that's going to benefit me. So I'll probably cut that one. Now, again, we're in this area here, and all the algos that absorbed here are going to look for another run to the downside, right? Just like we had here, and then that finally broke. So I want a break of that. So we're looking up here for profits, where I am, I should say. That makes sense. Harry Potter, yeah. Stupefy. For some reason, my brain immediately went to Hewlett Packard when you said that, Death Gun. I've been in the stock market too much. Yeah, Frosty, I'm sorry, buddy. I gotta do calls and stuff. I gotta work on stuff. I will update you guys. I always try to update you guys what happens if I take action off stream for these positions. But my plan should be pretty simple here. I'm gonna try to look for a buttload of profit here on ATNF if we get it, and then maybe just a recovery on PRPH at this point. So we'll see. But we got to get through this shakeout, otherwise it's not going anywhere. Right? We tried it over here, and it fell down, go boom. I don't want that to happen again. So it's too late in the morning for this, and I'm getting tooled for this. All right. So I still got about 7 minutes, so I got plenty of time to hang out. but I can't hang out too long. Okay, so what has happened here is basically you've taken a bunch of battleships and turned them into submarines on the order book. So everything just kind of disappears when it gets up into a scary area like this. And all these walls become little mines that are just hidden, right? So now they're back, so you can see them. But a little while ago, this order book was completely empty, right? And that tells me that there's probably 2 big algos on this. And as soon as one pulls off, the other one pulls off. I don't see any more than 2. Which is good because that usually means there's a big one and a small one. And we've already seen how the small one wants to behave, and we've seen how the big one wants to behave, which is pretty reaffirming to me that there is potential for a pretty massive profit here, because what happens is once the small one gets consumed, the other ones are going to try to rush in and catch a piece of that. So they're also like, think of them like momentum scavengers, basically. There we go. So that's the kind of move I'm looking for, but much bigger. I want it up here over 7. If we get it. Now you see how quickly that shot up through that shakeout? That likely means that this guy's going to reverse his position, and he's the smaller one. So the bigger one is the supporting one. That's the one we want to be on our side, which is the same one that was over here. So good. I'm reinvigorated with the confidence. So we'll see what happens. But so far, we're seeing confirmation for the thesis. And we'll just continue to hang out for another 5 minutes, and then I'll have to take the stream offline, and I'll update you guys in the free chat. Spy at 640. Top says X4 stop hit, took a loss here for almost 3%. Happens. Yeah, I mean, you can't avoid losses in the market. You just control them, right? And I think that more than gets offset by your other trade on Rumble, right? So good stuff. Now, the one thing I don't want to happen here is shake out. I don't want to be wrong about which one is the bigger algo, right? So far, what I'm seeing indicates that the smaller algo is the short and the bigger algo is the long, right? And we've seen that pre-market. We saw it over here twice, a lot of absorption and grabs to the upside. Now, for some reason, there we go, symmetrical walls. That's what I want to see. Yes. So 620, 640. Let me just erase all these extra lines here. 620, 640. There we go. That's the range I want to smash. So watch the 640 wall. We got 65.44 on that. 67.15, 68.15, 69, and pull. Next wall here is going to be 676 that I care about. There's going to be a bunch of small ones in the way. But I really just care about the 676 one. So let me just go ahead and draw a line there. All right. And that is probably going to be the one that determines whether or not we shoot over 7. Because that 690 wall is pretty small and insignificant. So let's watch the 676. That'll be our golden child. And we'll just watch the volume. 7,500 wall at 676. Obviously, we have to do the 650 to 660 range. So we'll see what that does. 660s, those walls didn't matter. Now I got 7,500 at 676. I'm just going to delete this order down here because I don't need it. Still at 7,500. 7,600. It's dancing around. 10.6K, 10.877. There we go. It's gone. Locking in some profit here. If I can get filled. We've got a 708. Well, actually, I'm going to cancel that order. I like this. It's pretty confident. See how all the other algos jumped in after the fact? That's what I was looking for. Yeah, we'll hang out. I like this one. 688, 689. Now there is a 660 wall here. I don't want to see that destroyed, but again, I'm okay with a little push pull on this one. I really want to see it break over 7. So if you're in this one and you want to take profits, I'm not going to stop you, but I can't tell you what to do. I'm personally going to hold based on what I'm seeing We did hit our 676. I'm just waiting for a higher break. Top says he sold IOBT, also done for the day. Finito. Beautiful, sir. That's good stuff. We got 670 wall here, 33.63. Let me just draw that. There we go. So 670, 35.08. Congrats on those profits, by the way, Top. That's good stuff. Fergie says I've taken some profit and stops well above break even. Good. That's what we like. Stop losses are your best friend, and you can use them to take your profits. Okay, so we got a 12K wall at 670. It's getting bigger, which is good for me. Looks like a lot of the other guys have reduced. They've kind of pulled off a little bit to figure out which way this is going to go. So you got to think of these guys like crocodiles, right? Like they're under the water until it's feeding time. When the feeding time food stuff gets close, they kind of pop their little nose up and you see their scales and their tails and stuff like that. When they're out in the middle of the river, they're down below. You don't see them, and that's what we're seeing on the bid side here. So got to be careful of those traps. But we want to be, we want to be the gazelle that goes this way, right? Not the gazelle that gets dragged down here. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's one of those weird mornings, again, where the volume is just very sporadic, right? So when the volume rushes in and it's directional, the trades are nice. We got a 68.50 wall at 669. When the volume kind of ebbs out, things get very messy very quickly. So I don't want to, you got to be careful with the noise, like, because the noise can definitely get in the way of your, the overall thesis, right? So I'm at 6, there we go. This is the land of milk and honey right here. So 698. So that is the wall I want to see broken, and it's right up there. That's an 11.9K wall. That is beautiful. There's nothing really significant in the way on either side. There's no guarantee it's going to go up there, but that is the setup that I like to see because that increases my probability pretty tremendously. So let's see if we get one big chop to the upside, or two, or maybe it crawls up, who knows, or maybe it rejects and goes down to the depths of hell. All depends on whether or not that volume comes in and pushes it up. We do know that the so far anyway, we know that the smaller algo here, the short, that was kind of grabbing these zones and trying to squish it down here, like right here specifically and right here specifically, has reversed so far. Right, that's where a lot of this volume probably came from. But are they willing to commit to a long position now and to let it go even farther? Or is it just going to be the big algo here looking for exit liquidity? Now, he's probably not going to let it go until it gets over 7. By let it go, I mean his shares. So we might see a pretty angry rejection above 7. So we're getting a bunch of little wicks here. Not a fan of those, but I don't see a lot here on the order book, which means those are primarily market orders that are coming through the time and sales. And they're sizable, which benefits us as long traders most of the time. So we'll see. Because market orders tend to get filled on the ask when you've got a setup like this. So that should, in theory, push the price up if that continues to flood through. So I just hang out, and then the obstacle here is if the volume falls off, then that's going to kind of compel bid fills and things like that. So I don't want to see that. All right, we're starting to get some small walls creeping up here. So these are the little scales on the crocodiles, right? They're starting to slowly swim over to the shore. Not really nibbling anything yet, but they're just getting close. They're just kind of easing up to the shore. little snouts are poking out. It looks like PRPH is, this one is just being weird. There's just no volume on it. Interesting. So I'll just hang out for a little bit longer on that one. It is after 11 o'clock though, so I do have to jump off of here, unfortunately. Does anybody have any last minute questions before I go? Let me end the live stream recording. And again, sorry, this was uneventful. You know, overall, you know, it's $8. I'm not too worried about it, but you know, I'm up $50 in the last 5 days or something like that. So let me end the live streams, and I'll hang out with you guys in Discord today, and we will pick this up later. So thanks for watching. Let me also put this channel. Let me put the link in the channels here for you guys. If anyone is not already signed up for Lee's live stream reminders, you know, he's streaming on, Thursday morning. He's got a pretty simple approach to technical analysis. So if you're a new trader or just looking for stability, make sure you check that out. Let me end the stream here, and I'll hang out in Discord with you guys.